They called her two-faced. One side of her face was gray and striped, sharp and cool like winter stone. The other side was warm orange and cream, the color of late afternoon sunlight. Two completely different faces, split right down the middle, sitting on the same small, quiet cat. People at the shelter thought it was strange. Some said it made her look untrustworthy. Others just looked away. In 3 years, she had been passed over so many times that the staff stopped counting. They named her Luna, mostly because it seemed poetic, a cat with two faces, a cat that belonged to two worlds at once, and yet belonged to neither. She never hissed, never scratched, never gave anyone a reason to say no. She would just sit there on her little perch, perfectly still, watching people walk past her kennel with those wide golden eyes, like she was waiting for someone who understood something most people didn't. Most people didn't stop long enough to find out what that was. But one man did, and what happened when he finally looked at her the right way changed both of them completely. Marcus Webb was 44 years old and had spent the last 2 years slowly disappearing into a version of himself he didn't recognize. His divorce had been finalized 14 months earlier. His apartment was clean but empty in the way that apartments get when no one is really living in them, just existing inside them. He ate standing over the kitchen sink. He watched television without sound. He worked long hours, not because he loved his job, but because sitting in silence felt too loud. His sister had been trying to get him to adopt a cat for months. He said no every single time. Then, one Saturday in November, she dragged him to the shelter anyway. She told him they were just looking, just browsing, no pressure. Marcus walked past kennel after kennel, kittens tumbling over each other, big cats sleeping in perfect circles, orange tabbies, black and white pairs, fluffy long-haired cats with names like Duchess and Captain. He looked at each one with polite, distant eyes. Nothing moved in him, nothing clicked. And then he turned the corner. Luna was sitting at the front of her kennel, completely upright, watching him. Not in the curious, casual way most cats watched strangers. She was watching him the way you watch someone you've been waiting for. Calm, certain, like she already knew the outcome of this moment and was simply waiting for him to catch up. Marcus stopped walking. He stood there for a long time. The right side of her face was soft gray with clean tabby lines. The left side was warm and golden, a single patch of orange that wrapped over her eye like a little flame. He'd never seen a face like hers before. It didn't look broken or wrong or strange. It looked like she carried two things inside her at once. Something in his chest went very quiet. He said out loud to no one in particular, "She looks like she's been through something." His sister didn't say anything. She just watched him. He put his fingers through the kennel door. Luna leaned forward, touched her nose to his fingertips, held it there for 3 full seconds. He looked at his sister. "Okay," he said. "Okay." If you've been watching this channel and haven't subscribed yet, this is the story this channel exists to tell. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what happens next is exactly why these stories matter. The first night, Marcus didn't sleep much. He kept waking up to check on her. She had settled into the corner of the couch like she'd lived there for years. Tucked in, tail wrapped around herself, those two-toned eyes watching the room with a calm that felt almost impossible. By day 3, she had claimed the right side of his bed. Not a gradual process, not a slow negotiation. She simply moved there at 11:14 p.m. on a Tuesday and made it very clear that this was no longer a temporary arrangement. By the end of the first week, Marcus noticed something. He was eating at the table again, not because he planned to, not because anyone told him to, but because Luna sat in the chair across from him and watched him with such focused, deliberate attention that eating over the sink felt suddenly ridiculous, like he owed it to both of them to sit down properly. Small things started shifting. He turned the television sound back on. He opened the curtains in the morning. He called his sister on a Sunday, the first time he'd called anyone first in over a year. He didn't tell her why. He wasn't even sure he knew yet. 3 weeks after Luna came home, Marcus had a night that cracked him open. Work had gone badly. Old grief came back in the specific, punishing way it does sometimes. Not gradually, but all at once, hitting him at 2:47 in the morning when the apartment was too quiet and the walls felt too close. He sat on the edge of his bed in the dark, elbows on knees, head in his hands. He didn't hear her jump up, he just felt the weight, small, warm, and deliberate. Luna had placed herself directly on his lap. She didn't purr immediately, she just sat there, the warm orange side of her face pressed gently against his wrist, completely still. He didn't move for a long time, and then, slowly, she started to purr, low and steady, like a pulse, like something saying, "I'm here, I know, it's okay." He put his hand on her back. She didn't pull away. They sat there in the dark together until 4 a.m. He went to sleep after that, the real kind, the deep, heavy kind he hadn't had in 14 months. Here's the thing about calico cats, the ones with the split-colored faces, the ones that look like two animals living in one body. There is an old belief, carried through centuries of folklore from Japan to the American South, that calico cats bring protection to the places they inhabit. Sailors once called them lucky, families called them guardians. In Japan, the maneki neko, the beckoning cat, is almost always a calico, raised paw offering safety, fortune, and return. Science doesn't confirm folklore, but calico cat owners consistently and across cultures describe the same thing, a quality of presence that feels deliberate, not needy, not performing, just there, reliably, quietly, with a kind of patience that asks for nothing. Luna had been passed over for 3 years, not because she was broken, not because she was difficult, but because her face was unusual, because people looked at something different and instinctively moved on. Marcus almost moved on too. He thinks about that sometimes, what he almost walked past, who he almost didn't become on the other side of her. It's been 8 months since that Saturday in November. Marcus still lives in the same apartment, but it doesn't feel empty anymore. There are cat toys by the radiator, a second coffee mug on the shelf, though he's the only one who drinks coffee. Small things that say, someone lives here, someone matters here. Luna still sleeps on the right side of the bed. She still watches him with those two-toned eyes when he gets home, sitting perfectly upright near the door, like she's been expecting him and is quietly satisfied that he arrived on time. She never needed to prove anything. She never asked to be understood. She just sat in her kennel day after day and waited for the one person who would stop walking long enough to actually look. Love doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just sits very still. It waits. It presses its nose against your fingers through a chain-link door. And sometimes, the most extraordinary thing about a gift is that it looks ordinary to everyone else, right up until the moment it changes your life. If you're thinking of adopting a cat, please don't scroll past the unusual ones. Don't walk past the different faces. Sometimes the ones nobody picked are the ones who were waiting specifically for you. So here's what I want you to think about. Do you believe a cat can actually sense when someone needs them, or is it just coincidence? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think.